Welcome to the Mindful Trainer, the podcast where we explore training, recovery, and the inner work that supports a healthy, meaningful life. And we do that through the stories and wisdom of athletes, coaches, guides, and trainers who have overcome challenges to reach their goals. I'm your host, Melanie Webb. Today's episode is a solo one, and it's a continuation of a conversation that I started in December a month ago in episode 19 around mindful fitness training, specifically how we recover, how we set goals, and how we decide what's actually worth chasing. This episode is for anyone who feels the pressure to do more, to train harder, to set bigger goals, and quietly wonders if there's a smarter way. In spite of, and I guess alongside of, tragic current events, because just because you can push harder doesn't always mean you should, at least not right now. In other words, friends, let's set the context here. It's been a difficult week, I think, for everybody. And it's January, which tends to bring urgency. New goals, new plans, new expectations, and often a subtle sense that if we don't get it right now, we're already behind. But here's something I want to say clearly before we go any further. Your body doesn't know it's January. It only knows stress, load, recovery, and whether it feels supported or threatened. In other words, thriving or surviving. So that's where today's conversation begins. In fitness, we're taught that success is about discipline and toughness, having a system and executing on that system. And you'll often hear me talk about that: discipline, drive, determination. But longevity, real sustainable health and fitness, is built on discernment. Knowing when to push, knowing when to pause, knowing when to adjust. And if you're me, to get very specific, when to pivot and get out of the ocean quickly before your foot gets stuck in the undertow and the next wave hits you sideways. And yes, that happened 2 weeks ago to me. It's supposed to be a quick recovery trip to Mexico, and I got body slammed by a wave. So that's what I mean when I say be smarter, not harder. Make little adjustments when you need to, don't be afraid to pivot and get out of there. Take everything according to what's coming and what's happening right now in the landscape where you are. So I want to offer you a simple framework that you can use when you're thinking about fitness goals, training plans, or even big adventure dreams. Before committing to a goal, try running it through these 3 questions. First, does this goal support my overall health? Think about the big picture and where your energy needs to be allocated: sleep, stress, recovery, old injuries. Perhaps it's an emotional load. A goal that looks impressive but erodes your health isn't progress. Now I'm going to go back to me being in the ocean a few weeks ago. Did that goal support my overall health? I just needed some ocean waves, salt water, sun, sand under my bare feet. There's such a thing as a mechanism of injury, and sometimes you're just perfectly set up for it. But again, first, does this goal support my overall health? Second, does this goal fit the season of life I'm in right now? I think this is especially important right now, as in this week, January 28th, 2026. Not the season you wish you were in, the one you're actually living. Work demands, family, emotional bandwidth, energy. Third, does this goal expand me and fuel my body battery, or is it taking away from it? Expansion can include challenge, but it usually comes with curiosity, purpose, and meaning. Depletion, on the other hand, often feels like pressure, anxiety, or obligation. Maybe it's also a time crunch. If a goal doesn't pass at least 2 of those 3 questions, it might not be wrong. It just might not be right now. Let's talk about the body for a moment. 2 systems that rarely get the spotlight in fitness culture, but you're going to start hearing a lot more about, are the fascia and the lymphatic system. These systems support circulation, inflammation, recovery, resilience, and they thrive on consistent, gentle movement, not constant intensity and load. When life is stressful, your nervous system is already working overtime. Adding high volume, high intensity training on top of that can push the body further into survival mode. I'm going to add to that depending on your age and your gender, you might actually have some physiological things happening in your body that would completely contraindicate doing a HIIT workout. So training smarter might look like this: shorter sessions, less load, more walking, more mobility, more rest, more time spent in Mother Nature. Those off days are not days you're falling behind. They're often the days that allow everything else to work. Recovery isn't a reward, it's a skill. Recovery is part of your fitness program. One of the hardest things for people, especially high capacity, capable people, is redefining success. Fitness culture often celebrates extremes: more miles, more weight, more personal bests, more grit. But sometimes the most disciplined decision is changing the plan. I've worked with many clients who were physically capable of reaching a goal, but emotionally, mentally, or even relationally, it wasn't aligned. And when we adjusted or even walked away, it wasn't failure, it was integrity. Success isn't just about what you accomplish. It's like, do you still recognize yourself in the process? Nature, one of my favorite topics, teaches us something fitness culture often forgets. Timing matters. There are seasons for growth, seasons for rest, seasons for preparation. Not every summit needs to happen this year. Not every dream needs to be chased immediately. Some adventures become meaningful because we wait until we can fully meet them. Choosing when to do something is just as important as choosing what to do. So, this is a short episode, you guys. As you're thinking about your training, your goals, or your next adventure, I want to leave you with this. Choose goals that support your life, not ones that require you to recover from it. Train in a way that respects your body. Move in a way that honors your values. And remember that alignment is a form of strength. I encourage you to listen to episode 19, where I share a powerful client story about choosing integrity over accomplishment. And as always, thank you for being here, for listening, reflecting, doing this work. This is the Mindful Trainer. I'm Melanie Webb. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. If you found this conversation valuable, please share it with someone who needs it. And if you want to explore more conversations like this, make sure you're subscribed to the Mindful Trainer wherever you listen to your podcast. You can also visit WebWell for training resources, outdoor-inspired wellness tools, and ways to work with me as you build your own body equity and resilience. The Mindful Trainer is the official podcast of WebWell. I'm your host, Melanie Webb. I'm also the founder and master trainer at WebWell. To learn more about WebWell and all we have to offer, please visit webwell.com. That's WEBB